Hello, welcome Joe.
Hello, welcome Reg.
Thank you Joe. Welcome to the LinkedIn Couch. My name is Reg Sorrell.
And I must be Joe then.
That would be right.
That's right.
Because I'm not Joe, and there's only two of us here. So one of us. Anyway, move on. What are we here for?
Well, today I want to talk about when, sometimes you get compliments, whether you've done some great work, whether you've run a workshop, done a presentation, done something awesome, and someone says, wow, that's well done. Maybe they've even written it down in an email or, whether it's verbal or whatever. But sometimes you think, and I hear you saying this to me sometimes, well, have you caught the video testimonial? And I just feel really uncomfortable about it. So I don't know about you, how comfortable you are asking someone to give you if you think of recommendation, that's one thing in itself, but asking someone to give you a video testimonial. Now, I can talk on video mostly when I'm not saying random words and being really posh and making things up. But, a couple of years ago, this scared the pants off me. So for me to then ask someone to give me a video testimonial, I'm thinking about how I would feel, like deer in headlights, stunned, really. Ugh. So Reg, how does one firstly deal with the asking someone to give you a testimonial, and how do you make it easy for them? Do you have any tips? So let's start with the first bit. How do you ask them? How do you make it easy? And what do you need? Could I use my trusty phone, my smartphone? Do I need a fancy pants camera and microphones and all the equipment? So what do I need to get started?
Okay, should we start with how do you ask first?
How do I ask? Oh, there's a lot of questions.
There was a lot of questions.
I'm so scared.
I'm surprised I actually remember the first one.
I know.
But I would probably say politely, and I would actually say early on.
Not, give me a...
Yeah, give it to me now. So maybe... Look, I think the easiest way to have it, or to get testimonials, is to have it as part of your process.
Okay, yeah.
So whatever correspondence you have now, whether it's with your invoicing system or whether it's just throughout, when you send them your first quote or however you want to do it, preface it, if things go well, when things go well, perhaps a video testimonial might be a good idea.
So at some point, you're going to ask them, or you're going to prep them that you're going to ask them?
You're going to prep them that you're going to ask them. So as, just as a matter of policy, action, whatever,
So rather than sort of
don't
stalking them and springing out of a bush.
Don't spring it on them. So you have it at the beginning.
Oh, so I've been doing it wrong, because I tend to wait in their driveway. As they're pulling in, I jump out.
And go, record, say something to me. Say something nice. So just get it in early, just so they know that they might be asked. Not everybody will say yes, because some people don't want to speak on camera.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing, because you want to make it easy for them as well, because while you're feeling uncomfortable in the asking, the next bit is making them feel that they've got something to say and they're not going to fall over themselves.
Yeah, so in regards to what do you get them to say, now my recommendation is always to try and think of a sticking point within your sales process, or if you don't have any particular sticking points you want to address, something that they really were really happy with. Now, whether that was the actual end product, whether that was just that you're a super nice person, or the service that you gave them, whatever it is, you concentrate on that. So if you've got a sticking point in your sales process, so for example, price might be an issue, or...
so by sticking point, do you mean like an objection to sales?
Yes, an objection. So use your testimonial as an objection buster.
That's really clever.
So it might be price, it might be turnaround time, it might be whatever.
So if price is one of your objections, you're too expensive. So your testimonial, the way you might frame it, is around the value for money, or the extra stuff that you brought to the table, or your expertise about why you're at the price. So.
Yes, essentially. And then you're making it easy as well for your customer who's going to give you the testimonial, because you haven't just thrust a camera in their face and say something nice about me.
Yes.
You've actually given them a framework to say, okay, can you give me a testimonial? And they'll say, yeah, okay, no problem. Okay, can you talk about this? So can you talk about the money, the cost? Now, we know at the beginning you thought it was a little bit expensive, but can you explain to them now why you think that it's not expensive and it actually is good value?
So could you frame it as a question to them, almost off camera, and then get them to answer it?
Yes,
in a sense.
If that works for you, yes. Yeah. Whatever works easiest. And then in regards to how to get it done, for a testimonial, unless you're actually going to go down in more of an organised route where you have an event, so you have an event at your place of business, and you're going to invite half a dozen of your best clients round for a bit of a get-together to say thanks. And then you're actually going to say, well, look, let's get a professional guy in. He can stand in the corner.
Do you know a professional guy who stands in the corner?
I do, actually. So then you can get someone in there who can, a nice camera, nice setup, nice lighting, and then you can tell your clients before they get there, you okay to do a testimonial, can you talk about, and they can be prepared and all the rest of it, and that's one way of going about it. But the easiest way is, in all honesty, is to use your smartphone.
So I can pick up my iPhone.
Yes.
And I can use the record app on here and.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So do I need anything? Do I need a microphone? Do I need fancy equipment? Would I use a tripod, or would I sort of wave it around do selfie? And,
ideally, a little tripod would be best.
Yeah.
A selfie stick is the next best option.
Without looking like one of those people?
Without looking at one of those people, yes. A selfie stick is actually not a bad option.
And why is that? Like, what is it about the selfie stick? Is it because you look really cool holding it?
No, it's because the further away you are from your hand, the less shake you're going to get, essentially.
Oh.
So if you're holding it, you're holding it like this, you're going to get a little bit of shake. Whereas if you've got it on a camera, on a stick that's further away, you're going to get a nice, easy, steady shot.
Okay.
That's essentially why.
Yeah.
A microphone, yes, if you have a little microphone that can either plug in wireless or wire or a directional mic.
Could you even use, the headset you get with the iPhone, the good old with the microphone, could you kind of hold that out of shot near you, like between you, or would that work?
Well, it would be a bit messy.
Yeah.
And then if you're holding a camera and the microphone, it's, it's
Could you like twist it along the pole so it kind of, it's sort of threaded down?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, it's a bit awkward.
Yeah.
It's a bit awkward. If you're going to go down the microphone, for $75, you could probably get a decent microphone that would work.
Like from a particular store, or
you can go online. You can go to JB Hi-Fi.
Yeah.
There's one on Lord Street, Team Digital, I think.
So what would you recommend? Is there a particular type? Like, are we looking for one of those? Is it called a lapel mic or a level?
Well, there's lavalier lapels. Yeah. I think.
Is it the brand lavalier?
No, it's just a type. So lapel, like we're both wearing lapel mics.
Oh, is that what I'm wearing?
Well, you've got I don't know. I thought lapel and lavalier were the same thing, but someone said to me lavalier was more of a corded and lapel was more wireless. I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh.
So a directional mic is a little one that sits into your camera, into the jack or your phone, and then just points to the person.
Yeah.
Or I've got one that's plugged into my phone. It's directly linked to my microphone.
I do have a tip though there,
because
I actually bought an expensive. Well, it's fairly expensive in terms of microphones. Is it Shoot or Shure? Shure, that brand. It was quite a few $100s from the Apple store, and it plugs straight into the iPhone and has the little fluffy thing on. I was recording and it wasn't working. So
some of the crackling, was it, or something?
One of them was crackling, and so I'm not sure if it was dodgy or the connection, or whatever. Anyway, so I took it back because I've got a different microphone now. But I think if you're going to go to the effort of doing it, maybe do a test and listen just to make sure. Because I think
recommendations. If someone speak to someone who's got one, or at least go online and make sure that the microphone that you're buying suits your phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Particularly with these stupid
the
connectors,
new connections,
that
adapters and stuff to charge and to have microphones and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered how to do it.
Yeah.
We've covered how to ask. We've covered what to actually talk about.
Yeah.
We've talked about
equipment.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my next suggestion was how to actually use the videos.
Okay, so once we've recorded it on our phone, actually, well, before we use it, are we editing it? Like, would you leave it raw?
I would leave it raw.
Yeah. So would you put stickers on if you're putting it on LinkedIn?
No. No stickers.
Oh, I did. I did use one and put a coffee cup on because I could.
Yeah, just because you could doesn't mean you should. Look, I'd probably stay away from stickers. If you're doing it on your phone, then I would probably stick with more of the raw feel, because it come across more authentic then.
Yeah.
So just have a little bit of a technique. So press and record and hold for a couple of seconds before getting the person to speak. A few little hints and tips. Once you've done a few, you'll get the hang of it. I think it's not that difficult.
And it's probably good to smile to start with, isn't it?
Start with a smile.
Not a...
Yeah, exactly. So once you've actually got it recorded, then you can either via an app or just through your phone, you can upload it to your Vimeo or your YouTube, whatever you choose to use.
Now we're talking about LinkedIn. So I could essentially then upload it as a LinkedIn post.
You could use it as a post. You could use it as maybe as a part of your rich media section.
Yeah. So that would need to be hosted on Vimeo or YouTube.
Have to be hosted externally, and then used on that. One of my better suggestions. One of my suggestions is outside of LinkedIn, would be to perhaps use one or two in your emails when you quote someone. So if you're going to do a quote, you send out your email. I would include one or two at the bottom of your email.
So how would you do that? Can you put the video in the email, or do you need...
Well, you can. It depends on if you're using HTML5 or whatever that thing is.
Or would you create like an image that links to?
I would just, you could almost just put it in the bottom of your email with like a hyperlink.
Okay.
And then when you send it, it'll be a clickable link on your...
Yeah.
So it could be beneath your footer or your address and your name.
I'm just thinking, if you put it on, say, YouTube, and maybe it was on unlisted, so it's not generally being searched. And maybe you've got a whole, you've got a testimonials video separately, but if you've got a unique link, that's one way of tracking who clicks on it on the email footer, isn't there?
Yeah.
Because YouTube gives you all these stats.
You could, you could use a bit.ly or one of those short ones as well. So you could check for clicks. But that's my approach to testimonials.
That is one of your better tips, Reg.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just saying.
Thank you. Yeah. So testimonials are a very powerful way of getting someone else to sell for you, because there's one of the books I read ages ago by Jeffrey Gitomer.
Oh yes.
Have you heard of that gentleman? The Little Red Book of Sales, I think it's called.
Yes.
Well, one of his famous quotes is, "When you say it, it's bragging, but when someone else says it, it's true."
And then where does humble bragging fit in?
That's a whole different book, I think. I don't think it's a red book. So there we go. There's my tips for using customer or client testimonials. There you go, Joe.
So we've got no excuse. We've got all the tools and the strategies to use them. It's just our own.
Yeah. And even if you haven't, prepped them beforehand, if you're doing some sort of handover and they're super happy with what they've done, if they're super happy, that's the time to be asking them to give you a testimonial.
I call it the point of, what do I call it?
What do you call it?
Point of excitement. The peak of excitement.
The point.
Peak of excitement.
The peak of excitement. So that's when you want to get them.
Yeah. I mean, I have asked people in workshops when you've been there. So Reg has been my sort of prompter, my mentor in that way. But it's not something it's not part of my process. That's why I don't ask. And then I don't want to be comfortable, put someone on the spot, so I don't do it. But if I did it more often, and you can probably pick the people that are going to be more comfortable doing it. And
some people, but you think will be more open to it.
So we should certainly do it more often. So I think
I agree.
You'll be seeing me ask.
Especially if you've got a phone in your pocket. There's no excuse. If you had a coffee with a client and they're super happy, and they just go, "Oh look, we've just used that thing. It's done this for us. We can't believe it." Even then and there, can I get that on video? That's a great testimonial for me.
And also then, by doing that, if you're going to share it, I mean, you publish it on YouTube or whatever, but if you share it on LinkedIn, you can tag their company. So you're actually thanking them for thanking you almost. It's a win-win and escalates, and you're rising together like old boats.
High tide raises old boats. I really must look that up.
Yes, we've already brought that one up, but if you've seen the episode, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. I think we've covered it. There we go.
Awesome.
In a nutshell.
Yeah, I like nuts. I'm hungry. Yeah.
All right, thanks for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. If you want to watch more, there's plenty more episodes to watch on the channel.
Plenty more to see here.
There's more to see here. We will be putting out more content in the future, so probably a good idea to subscribe, Joe. What do you think?
I think I'm going to.
You haven't already?
No.
Oh, God.
I wasn't sure.
All right. So hit subscribe, smash the all button, and then you'll be told every time we release new videos, which is every Tuesday, Joe, if I got back together?
Yes, if he's acting well, it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Otherwise, I kick the boot.
I get the boot up the backside. So, thanks again for watching. See you next week.
See you then.